So welcome everybody to this week's Region Call. Super excited to have you as always. I love seeing all your faces on. So tonight we're talking about skill number 4, which is following up. And we hear in this business over and over and over again, fortunes in the follow-up. And it so is. And I love this that I posted today. And the more research that I do, and I've done a lot of research in the last couple of days just on following up the best tips from all different entrepreneurs and all different network marketing professionals, and they're all very much the same, they're all very similar, but they all stress how hardly anybody follows up. And as soon as someone comes to them and is struggling in their business and they say, when was the last time you followed up with this person, they're like, oh, I haven't followed up with anybody. So the fortune is in the follow-up. It's so important to discipline yourself to make this a part of your daily routine. I can see you laughing. I know you're just totally private messaging each other. Anyway, feeling a little left out over here. So anyway, moving on. That's funny. Okay, so as that thing said that I posted up today, 48% of salespeople never ever follow up with a prospect. 48%. That's huge. 25% of people make a second contact and then stop. And you know yourself, if you really want to be dirt honest with yourself, how many times have you followed up past the second contact? You know, you start to stop at that point. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. And you know the 80-20 rule we talk about all the time, how 20% of people earn 80% of network. So in all that network marketing pays out, and network marketing pays out the most out of all industries in the world, out of all that network marketing pays out, 20% of them people earn 80% of what gets paid out. And I can guarantee you it's that percentage of people that follow up past 3. That's like the key. It's the secret. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second. 5 on the third. 10 on the fourth. 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. So we need to learn how to follow up. We can all agree on that we need to learn to follow up like a pro, because the 80% of sales don't even happen until the 5th follow-up. And most of us don't even make it that far. So how are we going to do that? I have a really great system that I use. I just have them cardboard clip open filing cabinets. You can just get them in Big W and stuff. I have one of them with January, February, every month of the year. And I just file into that my orders for that month. So, my orders for May go into May, and then so on and so forth. So as soon as someone orders from me, I immediately ring them, in 2 to 3 days' time, just to make sure that their products have arrived. And I just give them a quick call, just a super quick call, just to see your products have arrived, everything's working, it's exactly what you ordered and you love it. Find out straight away if there's any lipsticks that are a bit soft, or they don't know, they can't remember how to use it. How many people have said to me when I ring them, oh yes, it has arrived, I've just put it in my bathroom drawer because I just cannot remember what we did and what steps to do. I'm like, okay, that's no worries. We'll go get it out of your drawer and get a Nico pen and let's write on them now, and I'll help you while I'm on the phone with you. That happens so much. For people to get the best results, they need to know how to use it. So ring and just check. It's really good client care to take care of your PCs and stuff like that. Then in 2 weeks' time, just another super quick courtesy call that their skin is loving the product and that you still know how to use it. You know what you're doing. It's definitely the right colors. I've called up in 2 weeks' time and they've said to me, oh, I'm glad you called. I actually am not happy with the foundation color. It's a little bit dark. Oh, no worries. Let's send it back and get you the right color. Okay, take care of your clients. If I hadn't made that call, she would have dropped off the face of the earth and probably never, ever reordered from me. So really important. And then the next one, so I call this 2 by 2 by 2. And then the last one is 2 months' time. Call up again and see how their products are going, because they're probably running out and they need new ones and they need help ordering now. So 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. Shipping's probably 3 days now. So maybe 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. Maybe change it to 3 by 3 by 3. But, whatever works, you get the idea. That's a great system that I love. And then I don't need to go finding people. I know where they are. I just go to my filing cabinet and pull out 2 days ago, pull out 2 months ago, and work it out like that. Okay, and it's, it's a part of the DMO, our daily method of operation. Number 3 is following up. Every day we should be following up somewhere along the lines. There's so many people to follow up with. The world is definitely not short of prospects to find either. So when we call people back, one of 3 things will happen. Either you hit message bank. Who hangs up as soon as they hit message bank? Really try to leave a message. If they have a message bank, I always leave a message and just say, hi, it's Denny. Hi, it's Denny here from Arbonne. I said that I was going to give you asked me, actually, is even better. You asked me to give you a call today at 2 o'clock. I'm just doing that, just giving you that call. Give me a call as soon as you can. Thanks, Dale, bye. And that's it. Okay? Always remind them that you made that appointment. You're not annoying them. You're ringing them because they asked you to. So I always like to outline that. Number 2, they watch the video, so the second thing is they've either watched the video, or the third thing is that they haven't watched the video. More often than not, they haven't watched the video. Okay, so we ring someone up and they say, I just haven't got around to watching it yet. And this might be the 4th time. I haven't got around to watching it yet. My dog got out this afternoon, so I've been down the street chasing my dog, and even though they've had the video for a month now, they haven't watched it because the dog got out. And we're thinking, oh my gosh, you need to totally learn time management. This is $1 million opportunity. You're not taking it seriously. I'm getting really frustrated. It's time for you to watch this call. You're jerking me around and you're wasting my time, and all these things are going through your mind. But it is so important to not argue and to understand. That's okay. No worries. I totally understand. Life gets in the way sometimes. When do you think you'll be able to watch it? For sure, for sure. And I'll give you a call just so we're not wasting each other's time. Okay? It's so important. We don't need to be right. Just let them have it. Remember, they haven't done any personal development and learned anything about time yet. So it's really important to be very understanding of that. And this is such the business that we get so frustrated. They've had the video for a month. They said they wanted to watch it, and they have every silly excuse to us under the sun why they haven't watched it. But we really need to understand that they're in a totally different world. And if we're like, oh, well, just ring me when you've watched it, you're not going to hear from them. Okay, so end it nicely and always close it with another one. When do you think you'll watch it? For sure, for sure. Oh, I'll watch it Saturday. I'll watch it this Saturday because the kids are at soccer or whatever. Okay, awesome. Well, if I give you a call on Sunday, you would have watched it then. You would have watched it on Saturday. Yes, I'll watch it on Saturday. Okay, close it up. If they have watched it, awesome. So now you're going to book another exposure with them again. Remember, the average 80% of sales are after the 5th exposure at least, up to 12. Okay, so it's going to take a few of these. Be patient. Really remember that. So they've watched the video. Now we're going to move on to another exposure. Ask them, how are you feeling out of 1 to 10 about this business, and where are you slipping into it? Find out where they are. I'm a 7. Oh, 7. Okay, how come you feel at a 7? I'm just a little bit concerned about getting money together at the moment. I'm just a little bit concerned about having the time. Then you know where to take it from. Okay, well, we don't want money to hold you back from getting started. That's the whole reason why we're doing this business, is to create some financial freedom for you. So let's discuss some different options and some ways we can get started, and some packs that will suit your budget to make it work for you. Or talk about time. Use someone else's story. Like, you could say, I read an Arbonne the other day of this lady, and she just had absolutely no time, and she fit Arbonne into these pockets of time throughout the day, only doing an hour of Arbonne a day spread over 10-minute pockets, and she just had to do that for a few weeks before she was able to free up a bit more time to go further with it. Okay, always, stories are so powerful. Remember, facts tell, stories sell. Read your eye on Arbonne's and know your sponsors' stories, because you'll inspire people with them. And before you know it, you'll be using your own one day, and it will blow your mind. But the key here is to always close with another exposure. Always, no matter what they say. So even like when people say no to you, that's a good thing. At least you know where they're at. Okay, it's not for them. You know not to waste any more time there. Move on. But I still say to them, that's no worries. Is it all right if I give you a call in like 6 months' time just to see if things have changed for you? I'm just so committed to this business, and I can just see you doing it, and I'd just love to call you and just give you a follow-up in 6 months' time to see if you're still in the same boat. And they always say, that's fine, Dan. You can call me back in 6 months' time. Like, no worries. I'll probably be in the same boat though. And I go, no worries. That sounds good. I'll call you back then. And I keep my energy and my excitement and my passion. And you have no idea how many people I called in 6 months' time and their situations are changed. And now they wanted to try it, sign up, know more, come to a DA. You just never know. So, it doesn't have, you could say 3 months. Or can I call you back in 3 months? But you get the idea. No shorter than 3 months though. If they say no, they need at least 3 months. Remember that this is a long-term business. It's not something that happens overnight. Just because you ask somebody and they say no doesn't mean they're never ever going to join your business. It just means that now's not the right time and you need to get your prospecting hat on and handle this situation professionally and properly for them to ever come back to you. It's so crucial to learn that. I think, honestly, at least 90% of my organization took 6 to 12 months to join me. If I had left in that time, they would have been long gone. Some of the most powerful people coming into my business now, I've only just met in the last 6 months. I've been in the business for nearly 3 years. So you just don't know what's coming up ahead. So be prepared for it, be educated, learn, and make sure you're following up effectively, because what's going to happen is as you start to meet new people, it's not who you know today, it's who you meet tomorrow. As you start to meet these people, and I so believe the saying, if you want phenomenal, you have to be phenomenal. And as you start to grow yourself into a phenomenal person, you start to attract people of that caliber to you. And then because you've been following up effectively through this time as well over the last 12 months, then they're going to start coming back to you because they're attracted to the person that you've become and to your following up methods, and that you're professional and that you're sticking to your word and you're committed to this business and you're not here one day and gone the next. They start to join, these people start to join, and that's when it's like, oh my gosh, I've gone region, oh my gosh, I'm going nation. And it just happens literally like that. The first part is the most stretched out part where you feel like you're just miles and miles away from your end goal. Like you just cannot even see it. It's so far. And then it just starts to get closer and closer and closer and closer. It is so the business that you plant seeds and you're out and you're in activity and you're doing everything, and then you log on and check your web stats and it's like, man, it's just not happening. I just want to get it happening. It needs to start happening. But trust me, that QV is coming. Think of it like a savings account. You do get paid for everything you do in this business, just not immediately. It tests you and it pushes you, and your fortune's in the follow-up, 100%. Okay, I'm getting so off track. None of that was in my notes. But anyway, always set a specific time. So we're not playing phone tag and wasting our time. And don't be afraid to say that to people. You know, when someone says to you they're interested and they want to know about the business, or you've offered them and they're like, yeah, I'd love to hear it, know a bit more. Okay, well, can we do coffee Thursday at 6 p.m. or whenever? Be very specific and say, I just like to set specific times with people so that, we're not wasting each other's time and we can get down to business and give you the information that you really need and that you want to know. Okay, treat your business with the utmost respect. Take out all the wishy-washy stuff. Oh, maybe we can meet here and see how we go. And would you like it if I brought some slides and stuff? And would you like it if I brought a sample pack? And we can just sort of take it from there. And then when you get there, you're all nervous. And so you say things like, so would you like me to tell you about the business? And would you like me to show you different ways you can get involved? Like, be affirmative. Take grip of this. This is $1 million opportunity, and be like, I'm so excited to see you today. Let's get straight into this. Thank you for being on time. I'm a bit busy these days. I'm going here, there, and everywhere. People are attracted to busy people. They're attracted to people who are valuable of time, and they're going to get somewhere and they know where they're going. It's very clear that they know where they're going. So it's really important to be that person. Always assume the sale, okay? Because a lot of the times we get a bit weak at the end. We lack a bit of the confidence, and we start to be extremely indirect, and we start to drop hints and hope they pick up on the hints and that they buy. But it just doesn't work. You have to ask for what you want in this business 100%. So I always, key things to ask are things like, what did you like best? How can I get you started? Are you ready to start earning today? How can my team help get you going? Where are you at? How are you feeling with this? It's so important to know that you're going to all this work to create that. So you need to close it strong at that ending point. closing questions, that's the key, you know. And at the end, they'll 9 times out of 10 people will say to you, oh, I'm not quite ready just yet, I just have a few questions that I'd love to know. No worries, answer their questions. Don't be distracted by their questions that it stops you asking for the sale. So you answer their questions and they're like, okay, so how are you feeling now? Are you ready to get started now? Keep coming back to that. Be strong, be confident, be bold. That's the part that is the most important part of the whole business appointment. And you want to leave knowing where your prospect's at. How frustrating is it to drive somewhere, do a business appointment that goes for an hour and a half and leave being like, I don't know where that even went. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're going to join. I don't know when I'm going to talk to them again, if I should ring them again, or will that just be annoying because I don't know what just happened. Instead of being like, I asked them, they told me this is where they're at. I've closed with another exposure. So I always leave, like say you're running out of time, business appointment's up and they're still at an 8. They just want to talk to their partner or whatever. No worries, that's awesome. Well, I loved catching up with you today and your questions were amazing and I can really see you doing well in this. How about I give you a call in a couple of days, give you a chance to talk to your husband? Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, when suits you to give you a call? What night works? You know, and they go through their head, oh, I've got kids games, got this or whatever, I've got this dancing lesson. So how about Thursday night? Okay, Thursday night at 7? No worries. Have your diary there. You look very professional and very, you know, busy when you have a diary. Write it in the diary so they can see that commitment to you. Close it up, thank you, and you'll call them on Thursday. You're going to leave there knowing exactly where they're at, where they're headed, and that you've got another follow-up. You're not going to feel like you're going to be annoying them at all. You'll be like, bam, bam, bam. I'm on top of this. Okay, where am I up to? People love being told what to do and you're their leader. Okay, that's such a key thing to remember. They're looking at you to tell them where to go next. And if you don't look like you know and you don't look like you are going to show them where to go, then they're not going to go there. Does that make sense? You need to be told what to do and you need to tell them what to do. Not in like a bossy way, but in like an affirmative way, that's what you have to do to make it in this business. So you want to be leading by example. And say things to them like, you know, when they tell you what their passions are, say things like, well, you told me earlier that you wanted to travel the world. So how can I help you make that happen? How can I help you get started doing that? You told me that you were really after some financial freedom. How can I help you get started to create that? And they go, oh, that's right. I really do want that. Okay, so I'm just a little bit hesitant on this part here. I'm a little bit hesitant with my husband. He doesn't believe in this business. Okay, well, we'll need to organise to talk to your husband together. Recommend to watch the Rise of the Entrepreneur DVD and, you know, go down some different alleyways so that you know where you're going with that. But then come back at the end with, so are you ready to go now? Okay. It's kind of handy to have these 5 questions that you're comfortable asking. It's whatever you're comfortable saying is the right thing to say. Okay, just because it's on a script or you see someone else say it, if it's not something that you can say, don't say it because you're going to sound scripted and it's not you, it's not true, it's not from the heart. So write down 5 questions along the lines of these and what you feel comfortable saying. Ensure that they're still direct and that, you know, you're asking for the sale. And have them there so that you can you can read them off and know that you're asking them and that's going to help you close strong and confidently. Oh, yeah. A lot of people can. A lot of people can. It's about proof. We got to prove it to them 100%. Where am I up to? Oh, the first fail. I found this interesting. The 2 biggest fails in network marketing, the 2 biggest things that let people down. Number 1 is people who don't follow up was the number 1 failing point. And number 2 was people who don't ask for the sale. So true. There's so much in that. Write it down and stick it on your fridge because it's like the nuts and bolts to the business. Okay. Prospects that won't call you back. You know them, who wants to know how to handle them? The ones that you ring and they just don't seem to call you back. It's kind of like dating. So honestly, guys, and we've all been there, we all do it. If they're not calling you back, leave them be. Don't keep calling them. They're not really interested. Okay? You need to Find different people to speak to instead of keeping on contacting the old people. It's so important. It's so deflating. It'll get you down. There's no trick to how to handle that. There's no trick to how to handle people that aren't interested. If they're not interested, they're not interested. That's cool. Some will, some won't. Find someone who is. There is a whole sea of prospects out there. There's actually 76 billion people on the planet, and a lot of them who need this business. So, we create these limits in our mind of prospects and where they are and how we're going to find them, but they're all in here. The reality is they're online everywhere. They're downtown everywhere. Every single place you go and join, there's prospects everywhere. It's about using your two biggest tools in the business, your mouth and your phone. You have to have your mouth open for your business to be open. Tell people, not only tell people, offer people what you do. Tell them you do it and that they can do it too. Okay? A lot of people, and I've even had people in my business, I got in this habit of telling people what I was doing and how fantastic it was. And then I realized that I wasn't saying to them that they should do it too. And then when I started doing that and said, I could see you doing this, you should do it with me. Oh, you think? I've been watching you doing it and thinking, oh, I wonder if I could do that. And I was like, really? You can totally do it. If I had said that to them 6 months ago, they probably would have joined 6 months earlier. So make it clear that you think they can do it and that you want them to do it, that you would love to do it together. The biggest mistake people make is rather meet new people to prospect to, they continue to follow up on the same people over and over again. This is an average and scarcity mentality. And it's so true. It's a fear thing. It's easy to keep talking to the people that we know rather than go and talk to people that we don't know. But guess what, guys? Magic happens outside your comfort zone. You have to talk to people that you don't know to really make this work in the business. If you put your courageous hat on and start talking to people that you don't know, your business will become unrecognizable to you in the next 12 months, guaranteed. And you'll be like, I am just so glad I did that. The growth that will happen inside of you as well is insane, and it will make that warm market that you were following up on a lot start to come back to you, which is a really cool part of the business. Okay. So I've done everything. So a call to action for tonight is something that if you're serious and you want to put this into place, what the best way to remember something that you've learned is to put it into action immediately. Okay, I learnt that from Tony Robbins down in Sydney. So he would give us a training and then he'd say, do this right now. And we'd stand up, we'll go and make a phone call, we'll do something to implement what he just taught us because it helps you remember it. So a call to action for you guys tonight to help remember the keys in following up is to set up a 3x3x3 or 2x2x2 system, whatever works for you. Set up your system like that. Start your follow-ups and close with an exposure. Okay, even tonight, it's 8:30, might be a bit late. Send out a message on Facebook or a text message to someone and close with an exposure. Okay, start to get in the habit of doing that. And it took me a little bit to get in the habit of doing that. I remember ending and being like, oh, I didn't book another exposure as I was driving away. Far out. How did I do that again? I should have been all over that. But it's something that comes to you. Okay, once you start to do it and get the rhythm of it, it happens. Everything in this business, every hurdle that you face is solved with activity. Getting out and meeting someone new. How much better does it feel just when you talk to that one person who says, oh my gosh, I'd love to have a presentation for you. Oh, I'd love to have a business appointment. It's like all your album worries just got washed away and you're so excited. So go out there and create that and find that momentum again. So does anybody have any questions? Today. Oh, how cool is that, Amy? That's awesome. Go you. I mean, that must have just felt, yeah, of course you are. Absolutely. That's awesome. But that would have felt so great, and even if she had I can guarantee you that no one's going to say to you, no way. And I'm really offended and annoyed that you even asked. It's just not going to happen. They're going to be like, oh, thanks for asking, but it's just not really my thing. Oh, no worries. That's totally cool. I understand. That's it. But then what happens when they do say yes? And then they book a party and then they bring their friends over and then one of their friends wants to join your business and another one of their friends wants you to meet one of their friends. And it's so exciting how fast that grows. I would really love to hand over now to the beautiful District Manager, Anita Hazelwood, on the call. I was just talking to Anita on the phone today, and she's just so inspiring to me. She's such an example of persistence, and Anita's hit so many walls in her business. Honestly, she's gone through everything and did not let a single thing hold her back. Me and her upline sponsor, Lydia, well, there's a couple in between there, but me and Lydia are just both so, so proud of you and what you've achieved. There's just no words. And I would love you to share your journey with everybody really quickly because you're so inspiring, Anita. So take it away, darling. Just make sure you unmute yourself.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So I started my Arbonne journey in March of last year. I held a party for Lauren, my sister, who is my upline, pretty much non-existent at the moment. And I purely held it for to help her out. I didn't know anything about Arbonne, what it did, what they produced, knew nothing. But she wanted some QV points, and I said, sure, I'll have one. I needed some social time from my two boys. So yeah, jumped at it. When she came along, she showed the 6-minute business opportunity video, and I was hooked instantly. Hadn't even tried the products, didn't know what it was about, but the business opportunity just hit with me. 4 months prior to having the party, my husband was made redundant from his 8-year job in the mines. We didn't have a plan B. And I was working casually as an admin in an ultrasound clinic, but I was on maternity leave, and that job was never ever going to be full-time. So the option for me to look for full-time work was on the cards. I did that. But the cost of daycare was just out of the roof. Like, I'd be giving all my wage plus some just for someone else to look after my kids. It just wasn't feasible for us, wasn't an option. So when she showed me the video, I was hooked. I was like, yeah, I can totally do this from home. And just jumped. I love the products as well. I had really sensitive skin, so I couldn't use a lot of them at the start. Used the Calm range for a little while, and now I can use anything. So that was 12 months ago, and been slugging it very, very hard since then. I've got probably, I'd say 95% of my family and friends don't support me at all. My husband doesn't have my back. He's slowly coming around now that I've finally got a team. So in my anniversary month of this year, so March, I got 2 consultants underneath me. So very, very excited about that. So that was Shana and Crystal. Crystal is booming, by the way. I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but she's already done $2,500 sales already. So she's doing amazingly. Crystal is one of the girls that I sent samples to in August of last year. She loved them. She ended up joining up as a PC, used the Calm range. Then a month after that said, yeah, I think I am interested in the business. So shot her through all the video links. She watched them, are still umming and ahhing about it. They also have a business together, her and her husband, and she'd only just had a little bub. So, and she also had a toddler at the time. So she's got 2 kids and it's very full on. So she's like, no, I don't think it's just not right time for me. I can't do it right now. I was like, sure, that's fine. No worries. We were still friends outside of the Arbonne world. We met through our oldest son's mother's group. So in December, I asked her how the products were going. Did she need to reorder? And she said, well, actually, I think I'm going to go back to my older products. I think they're just as good as Arbonne, but a little bit cheaper. I was like, sure, no worries. You got to do what fits in with your budget. That's fine. January come along, she said, oh, I think I've gone back to my old products and I like Arbonne way, way better. I'm going to buy some more. It's like, awesome, we'll buy some more. And then a month after that, she's like, really, really keen for the business. Can I sign up? Sweet. Yes, I love you on my team. So if I hadn't planted the seeds back in August, she wouldn't be in my team now, or she might be under somebody else. Shana, I met through our Emerald Page Mothers group. She was asking about She was asking a financial question and I answered it, and then PM'd her on a side note asking would she be interested in the business, and she said yes. If I had to quit when the times were tough, I've got 40 friends in town, in my hometown, directly linked through mothers group or pre-children. 2 of those people have had parties for me, 2 of them. And I've had 4 parties all up in my just over 12 months of business. So really, really hard to get it out there. Parties would be far better. You'd get more word of mouth out there, but I've been having to do one-on-one, drop off pamper packs or tote bags, things like that. So you're only really showcasing to 1 or 2 people at a time. So it's been a slow process. I did a workshop in April, and a makeup workshop, and a lady just loved the products there. Her name was Lisa, and she signed up 3 days after. I hadn't even gave that opportunity to her. I was purely just doing a makeup workshop, couldn't get any parties, thought, yep, I've got a friend who's a makeup beautician. She hosted it and was like, yeah, I want to sign up. And we did that. So this month in May, still no parties apart from Lisa's launch. Lisa's doing amazing too, by the way. This is her 2nd month and she's already killing it. I had no other parties booked apart from Lisa's launch. So I thought, what can I do to show the girls that I'm doing the do as well? I can't be a leader and not actually doing the do. So I joined a new Facebook group, was All Things Girls or something along those lines, and put up there who would be interested in a free pamper for the month of May, and bombarded straight away. So I think 26 hits straight up, and I offered them 3 options for a facial. They could choose the 5-step RE9 range, the 7-step ultimate facial, or the 9-step ultimate glow. And then I gave them the option to bring a friend. So from there, I've only got two people are coming by themselves. Everyone else is coming as a pair or in a group of 3 or 4. And I've got over 20 facials for the rest of May. So yes, and this morning I had my first one-on-one, and I showed her the 6-minute video opportunity for the Arbonne business, and she's keen on the business. I didn't even ask her. She's just fallen in love. So yes, going great guns so far. But yes, persistence and planting the seeds. What happens earlier on, where the things were so tough I could have just thrown in the towel, I wouldn't have what I've got now. So yeah, did that answer all the questions, Jenny?
Awesome, Anita. You just rocked. That was just so great. I just love how real you are, and you're just so down to earth and say exactly how it is and how it feels to you. And I love that. You're so inspiring. And, you know, Anita really did, you know, she had really no support from her friends or her hubby. You know, she was really battling there. And I remember you setting up DAs and doing all this work, and then your friends didn't turn up who said they were going to come, but you were just so determined. I've never seen determination like it to make it work. And it's just mind-blowing. So in the last 2 months, she's been in the business for 12 months. And in the last 2 months, she's sponsored nearly 3 coming up to 4 people in that time. That aren't just average people. They're doing really great. She's an amazing leader because she's never missed a training call ever. She's all over everything that I post up. She knows how to follow up like a pro. And now her business is starting to flourish. You're going to fly into area manager. You've got 3 girls coming up to 4, 20 facials booked, 20 one-on-ones, well, almost little mini parties because there's 2 to 3 in 1 month. That's just insane in a tiny little town of Emerald. Tiny town with no support from your friends. It's incredible. So you're just so great. I just think it's incredible. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us tonight. We loved hearing it, didn't we, everyone? How awesome was it? Huge shout out to you. And there was a question actually. Who was it? You, Hides, that asked something. What was it? Did I read something? Oh yeah, what's your best one-liner to create another exposure? So just when I'm generally talking to somebody, do you mean Hides, and they say that they want to know more or something, I just say, you know, when do you think you could watch it for sure? And then I'll give you a call after that. Is that sort of what you mean? I don't know what you mean. She must be typing. But anywho, it's been a really good call tonight. I hope you ladies got a lot out of it, because I did. And yeah, hun. Oh, cool. Awesome. All right. No worries. Well, have a great night. Thank you so much for plugging in. It did hit home. You did an amazing job. Thanks so much, ladies. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.